for us, for benefit of our participants and ultimately their children and their students. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Right, Jazakallah Azad Bhai. I think it was very gracious of everybody to give a feedback. I will share a lot of small tidbits that I learned from each one of you, and there is a concept called feedback is the breakfast of the champion. Now, I don't know what about champion mindset by, but all of you, what you contribute makes us better, makes the program more valuable, and that is how any program would grow. So once again, Jazakallah for feedback, your feedback that you're sharing, and I have incorporated both the things. Hopefully, I'll be slower, and this time I give you the right. You can immediately use the chat and say, "Hold on, don't be Usain Bolt. We would rather be someone more personal as a morning walking person, and I'll slow down if I'm going very fast." Number two, yes, I was looking at more ways how you can use some of the strategies that we have into real classroom. That is a feedback. Another thing was to add a little more faith-based lesson. Looking at the demographic, I have added all the three. Remember, what we are doing here is not just learning about concepts, but also every single slide that you can do is your slide for incorporating in a classroom. Sometimes we might wait for a game or an activity, but for example, the fact that you all chose to write down 5 book names, right? And I'll come to that in the review, is itself a game you can incorporate in the classroom. What is happening is today in the online world, how do you make your lesson valuable? See, the fact that you wrote down some book's name is a very valuable input you gave yourself. More than anybody else, you realize, okay, I've got 5 books that I have. For example, I saw some of the names which are really proud of it. Somebody wrote Atomic Habits. Somebody wrote a book on healing your life, as I'm reading it right now. Amira Ayad. I'm proud the fact that you wrote these names. These are reminders that these books are meant not just for me, for others, but also for you. So that's the feedback. Whatever you've learned is to be incorporated in your classrooms. Number two, like the games we played, the gingerbread man, the stories you predicted, that's something you can pick up and then you start building up on it. So for example, if you look at Jumpy Juvaria series, that's something that's become very popular. You can take up a story and put a wolf photo and say, okay, what was the story where the wolf was in? And you can say a different version, a story with the wolf with the Hadith story, or the story of the wolf with the wolf and the boy. The wolf who cried, the boy who cried wolf. It could be anything you would like to use up is your perspective. So a quick recap of what we did last week. And this was where we started with the Howard Gardner's theory. So that's Dr. Howard Gardner. And we said intelligences are very simple. They're like ice cream flavors. So the base remains the same. You start changing the intelligences. And last week we said one of the mother intelligence, like the mother emotion, the primary emotion, the primary intelligence was the word smart learner. Today we'll take up 2 intelligence, and they are not primary intelligence. The interesting part of it is we'll use the word smart learner to build up on a 2 intelligence that we're going to talk about today as well. We also did a lot of it. 1 hour was very, a recap of 5 minutes is very, very short, but we spoke about languages and the choice that you had. This is again something you can bring back in your classroom. So everything you do is a classroom activity. How you incorporate is very important. So you can start talking about which languages start from right to left. And then you say, why are these languages special and important? As I said, language will be a special section in People Smart. Then the last or the recap, I'm summarizing the entire workshop in 2 slides here with 6 small pointers, was the power of stories. When you tell stories, even like what we're going to do today or what we did last week, we told you stories. For example, we said a dictionary can change somebody's life. And we said the story of Malcolm X. So stories are very powerful, man. Statistics is what we'll talk about today in mathematical learner, but people forget stats, they remember stories. Even maths today has to be told as a story or a game. So either a story or a game has a great recall effect. And then of course we said books will change your life, and I was very proud at the list of books you mentioned about it. Some of them are really interesting books. Some of the books I would put in my wish list to read, but this is a great story starting, a great starting. I was happy with the feedback you gave. I was happy. That means you were awake, alive, and you were willing to participate. So on that note, let's immediately jump into a second learner type, which is what I call the picture smart. The technical name for this is a spatial learner. Remember, spatial as in the line, space, vectors. This is a child, this is an adult, anybody. When we say learner type, while we are encouraging you to be teachers, but it could be about you. It's someone who likes to draw or doodle, someone who's going to jigsaw puzzle, following maps, build things. Anything which is to be built up is a picture smart learner. So when I say these things, use your chat and tell me 2 or 3 professions that can come to your mind. Go ahead and tell me what are the professions that can come to the pointers I told you about, like a child who likes to draw and doodle, good with jigsaw puzzle, following maps and can build amazing things. What professions come to your mind? Let me see how many picture smarts are here. All right, absolutely. So we get a designer. That's absolutely brilliant. We get architects. Thank you so much, mashallah. Fantastic. What else? Story illustrators. Absolutely wonderful. This is good. A chef. Okay, right? Yes. Today, chefs is all about aesthetics and presentations, and all the cooking shows today will not survive. Your food is not presented well. Brilliant, Azad Bhai. And you know, on that note, Azad Bhai, the way to a man's stomach is through, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So chef absolutely is perfect.
And my wife is a good chef.
Oh, mashallah. You know, you have to say that at the end of the day, there's pandemic and there are no online deliveries available, Azad Bhai. Right. But I think, you know, I can trust. Yes, thank you. I'm seeing more. It's the beauty of it is your participation. Civil engineering, painters, artists. Great. So yeah, Sister Lisha, that's a compliment for you. But these are some wonderful programs. These are professions that we can get into. Now, you see, suddenly, how do we treat a child who is great with doodling but poor with words? Oh, we say, no, you cannot be successful in life. And remember, last time we spoke about a man called Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl, he is called the Shakespeare of children literature. He was very poor at spellings. And yet, you know, today the world has changed. The entire challenge that here is about preserving and you know, enhancing your creativity, not being a nut and bolt engineer, not being a rote smart learner, not being a mark oriented person. Marks are important, but what we're saying is you can channelize your child who is good with these things. So tomorrow you see a child good with map, you know, all you need to do is open up a Google map and play a game with them. And you say, all right, let's search, or a world map, and say, okay, where would the penguins be? Where is Australia? Where is Japan? And then the fun starts. And we have some games for you, as we always would do, but these are the ones you can immediately implement. I'll give you an example, a straight, simple example. When, you know, not a very favorite country of all right now, but China, a brilliant country, somewhere landlocked. It's a Great Wall of China out there. There is the Mongolian desert out there. And we ask children to make a domino. You know, those dominoes, we are using 3 intelligences. Number 1, we are learning about China as a culture. So we are learning something called people smart. Number 2, when we make the dominoes, this is a number smart or a math learner. And then they are learning about picture smart by drawing the China, and they created an entire domino effect as if it's a Great Wall of China. And we ask the children to have fun with it, break it down, and then why would you need a wall? What is so special about the wall? You see, when the conversations happen, the children who are very fidgety, very, not active enough when the class is going on, suddenly you give them physical objects and they were all excited. This can also be possible in the pandemic. Sometimes we realize what is stopping you. All you need to do is ask a child to get some books or some toys, which are little like block-like thing. Or in fact, if they have dominoes with them and they make the dominoes, and everybody's domino should be, as starting at the same time and stopping at the same time. Lot of things can be done if only we understand the learner type. So who is this learner? Who is the spatial smart learner? Someone who thinks in pictures. Someone who loves to design, draw, and someone who, if you had Legos as you grew up, you even are great with movies and animators. Today, some of the best movies are not coming from Hollywood, but across the world. Look at Norway, look at Iran, look at Australia, look at Africa. Some of these are so amazing, so beautiful, the way they're portraying the culture, the emotions, the wars that have gone on, the loss. And that is the kind of, it's a spatial learner, someone who can visualize colors, graphics. That's the imagination. Today, we can do trips to art museum. And today, in the pandemic, we took them to Australia Zoo. What all I have to do is I have to open up a virtual Australia Zoo, take them to the zoo, and the kids loved it. They loved to see the animals. It was so beautiful. We will do some of them as we go ahead, but these are areas that a spatial learner learns in. All right, too much of conversation and not enough fun. So here you are. Observe the next slide. And how much time should I give you? Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds as I promised in the slide, maybe a little less than that. Go ahead. My timer's on. Excellent. Fantastic. All right. Don't worry. Don't look at the screen. There is a question on the screen. But first, my question to you is, how many paintings did you see in the picture, in the photo there? How many paintings did you see? All right. I'm getting quick and fast answers. Absolutely correct. 3 and 4. So the debate is between 3 and 4. All right. 4 is winning. That's really good. Anybody with a different answer? Anybody with another opinion? All right. So we need to do a lot of work on the. Okay, right. Sister Asina says they look like windows, did they? And everybody else says they're painting. Why don't we go back and have a look again? And suddenly you are okay. Before we go back and have fun with it, what was in the middle of the table? What are the things you saw in the table? Okay, Sister Aisha also agrees that they were not paintings, they were books. Okay, in the middle of the table, absolutely. Brother Saeed says they were books. All right, everybody else follows him. Fantastic. Okay, we can see a lot of books out there. Keep writing. Was there only books or something else was there? Okay, right. Okay, a jug, a vase, a plate. Interesting, interesting. So I see you all were brilliant observers when it came to what's in the middle of the table, but what is around the windows, we lost it. And here is the answer. So you see, absolutely right. Whoever mentioned, I think I just lost the track. Sister Asina was the first one to mention that they are not paintings. They are windows, and you're absolutely right. These are windows. But you see, just because we were aware of it, now we'll be more conscious and we'll see the picture differently. It's a game. It's a simple game. You remember as kids, we played I Spy with my little eye. Can you find a round object? Can you find a triangular object? Can you find a red object? All you're changing is you're changing the picture. You're changing the perspective. You're putting a picture, and you know, this is the easiest and the simplest of the picture, a rug, a sofa, a vase. But then you can, you know, as you go ahead, your pictures can become more complicated. You can teach a lot of things to spatial learner. I want to teach the numbers. I can put the numbers in the middle and find the numbers. And they will learn faster if the numbers are hidden between it. See, the idea is we are challenging the way you teach. Hold on. I think we will do a lot of games rather than talking about it. How do I use my spatial learning technique and start converting it into a word smart? So people are good with pictures. How do I convert them? And a lot of kids, by naturally, they're good with pictures, right? So how do I convert them to learners? How do I convert them to writers? One of the greatest skill of a teacher is making writing easy. So let's do another game. But before that, these are the strategies that a spatial learner will have. You know, I'm not going to even describe the strategies. Imagination, mind mapping, painting, pretending, fantasy play, brilliant. You know, you give them something in fantasy and they love to doing it. So what can we do when we have to challenge them? I don't know how many of you are from the world of advertising and branding, but if you like advertising and branding, you are already a spatial learner. Why am I suggesting that is the fact that today the world lists logos. Remember, you know, you want to pick up a mobile phone, not because what is inside it, what is on it. You want to pick up the shoes because there's a small tick mark and they're $100 more than the previous shoes, but you like them. You like Skechers. You love to wear Skechers. You don't wear shoes anymore, isn't it? So the idea, the world is changing. Why not use that concept and teach our children? So let me go to something else, a little more fun, and then I will show you. Since there was another feedback came in, how do I teach faith? I said, okay, let me combine spatial learner by teaching faith, right? What is faith, by the way? Belief is something that you hold as true, right? For example, if I were to tell you that the earth is flat, 100 years back, some people believed in it, isn't it? Because we were not sure. We didn't do experiments. We didn't go around the world. The same way, today, whatever I do, belief is an assumed truth. Our beliefs with regards to our children is an assumed truth. We believe that they are not smart enough. That's the whole idea of the workshop. You change your belief, you change your perspective. Trust me, your child will amaze you. You know, one word from a teacher for a child will change the child's perspective. I will tell you a story of this boy, and these are part of the workshop. I said, stories are what you remember. There was a boy, and there's a movie based on it, Stand Up and Deliver. This boy's name is Johnson, right? And Johnson was the naughtiest, the most mischievous, the most lethargic boy in the class. So, you know, there are PTMs, and for most of us, we used to dread the PTMs more than anything. It was like Yawm al-Qiyamah, when your teacher will tell everything you did for the whole year, and you're scared. So Johnson had his PTM, and the parents go to the teacher. And as the parents are talking to the teacher, remember, this teacher mistook the Johnson they're talking about with another Johnson who was a brilliant boy in the class. He was absolutely wonderful. So Johnson's parent, the mischievous Johnson parent, went very well. They decked themselves up, they had a tie, they had a suit. Remember, your dressing sense shows your attitude as well. The way you appear. Do not judge a book by its cover. Was written by someone who did not have good illustrators. Today, books are judged by the covers. You pick up a book from the shelf because they look beautiful. There are thousands of dollars being spent only to design the covers of the book. Look at the cover of a book called Quiet by Susan Cain. It's an amazing book. The idea of the book is already in the cover. I'm just writing the name of the book down, or Azad Bhai can help me. It's Quiet, right? Quiet by Susan Cain. But the idea is the covers make a difference. So as the teacher saw Johnson's parent, she assumed it's a bright Johnson. And she started saying all the good things. This boy is sitting hiding in the corner and he's unable to believe the teacher has so many positive things to say after. And trust me, this boy Johnson changed. He changed so much that he became the brightest boy. He was submitting an assignment on time. He was the one who started behaving well. His dress sense improved. His understanding of the concept improved. By one misunderstanding, the teacher's assumption, her belief that the boy can be good. What do you assume about? When you tell people something that is related to them, they don't accept it. For example, go and tell everybody that there are millions of stars in the galaxy. And what would they do? They'll accept it. All right, yeah, there are millions. How does it matter? But you tell somebody that this is a wet paint. Don't sit, don't touch. What would they do? They will go and touch and they'll check. You know that? Trust me, do that. An experiment. Tell a child, don't touch it, and they'll touch it. Why? It's a human innate curiosity. We call it the fitra. Use the same fitra to teach. That's it. You tell them, I'm not allowing you to write, but every logo you see now, write it down for me. And here I'm going to play a game called the logo game, right? And we'll build it up. And this is called a picture smart. So choose your chat box and tell me the logos you see. Let's have fun. Okay, by the way, I wanted to make this as a game. So I don't know you, most of you. And probably it would, there are around 20 participants if I, don't count me and Brother Azad. So let me assume everybody whose names start between A to M, right, is one team, and N onwards is another team. I don't know how does it work. If I usually we do breakout rooms if I do play a game like that, but let's have fun. All right. So I'm going to challenge you with some logos. With your children, you can use the presentation and then you can build up on the logo as you write it down. All right. What's this a logo for? Very popular. It's a picture smart, right? So all you have to do, and I think there is nobody who would not know this logo, but go ahead. Use your chat and write down. I think I will make it democratic, open for everybody. Otherwise, people are reluctant. Am I team A or team B? So we'll just make you write. All right, it's a dollar sign. How do I build up on a dollar sign? I can start using this sign and say, okay, tell me the currency of Italy. Tell me the currency of Russia. Go ahead. Italy and Russia, what are the currencies called? Now, that's a difficult one, right? I just randomly asked you. So let me say Italy, Russia, and Japan. What are the three currencies of these three countries? Okay, right. Professor says lira. Absolutely right. What about Russia? Okay, Japan, Sister Nuha says yen. All right. Yen is absolutely right. What about Russia? So the Russian, it starts with R itself. No, it's not euro. Euro would be for everybody. What about Russia? All right. So it would be, okay, right. Russian rubles. Absolutely, Sister Ruchana. Russian rubles is what I'm looking for. Good enough. You're doing good. Let me go to the second one. Okay, this one. Now let me see the younger ones. The ones who know, anyone who knows this, you are young at heart for sure. What's this logo for? All right, we didn't get too many. Okay, I'm getting few more quickly. Just 3. Not enough. I wish I had a little more. Okay, this is for the Ferrari. You see, if you were a teacher, you can just use logos and you can start making a student write it down. The fact that they're typing is itself a sign that they're learning. Ferrari, brilliant. Your lectures can go on to talk about horses. The most beautiful horses are the Arabian horses. They're in Andalusian, and you can talk about breeds. The fact that a teacher is not limited, just a picture can open up a Pandora's box. All right, I'll quickly go to my logos and also, okay, very popular. Anyone from South Kerala would know this is a very popular symbol. It's primarily a symbol of a thinking. What am I talking about? The sickle. Not enough people answering. I want more quick answers. All right, it's a communist regime, absolutely. So that's what I was talking about. This is how you're talking about democracy, monarchy, theocracy. The idea is each picture can lead me to a lot of conversations. So there you are. Okay, what is this a sign of? Very common, very popular. You're building up. All your learning is building up a lot of things. All right, there you are. We are on the victory path. Fantastic. Anybody into cricket? This was something that the teenagers like. You might change it to Barca. You might change it to Chelsea. But since I was closer here, I thought I'll pick up a cricket club. Which club am I talking about? I'm sorry if this is very India oriented, so some of you may not know. Yeah, it's a Bangalore Blaze Club, but otherwise it's very universal. Most of my symbols are not. This one, you should never miss this one. Anyone in professional circuit should know what I'm talking about. Right there she is, sister, absolutely on the dot. It's LinkedIn. A small tip here for all the teachers. If you do not have your LinkedIn account, please create one. The idea is great teachers build up their portfolios. Where is your portfolio? So fantastic. If some of you have it, great. The ones who don't have it, it's as easy as a Facebook account or creating a Twitter account. Go ahead and create a LinkedIn account. And also LinkedIn has some brilliant courses, free courses that you can join and use. But these are some of the you're just developing your portfolio as you go ahead. So there you are. All right, country with flags, you can talk about it. A lot of flags. Yes, thank you, Safia. I can see some flags immediately jumping in. What flag am I talking about? I don't think you should miss these. Brilliant. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, Sister Rida, there you are. It's Australia. Yes, it's not UK. UK is just part of the Australian flag. Now, okay, there's a question alternatively on flag. The African flag, which color is the most prominent in African flags? Go ahead and tell me the color. You're talking about color. Spatial Smart is all about colors. The world of flag can open up plethora of opportunities. Tell me the first. I'll talk about the African flag. Okay, all right. I'm getting green as a very prominent answer. Maybe green, but there's something else. Think of Africa. Think of sand. Think of sun. All right, black, a possible answer. Thank you, Azad Bhai. It's yellow, right? So, suddenly you're challenging a student and they're learning about geography without even going to opening the textbooks. Another very, in fact, okay, all of you in Gulf can immediately tell me what are the 4 prominent colors in any Gulf flag. I think except Qatar, which is a very unique flag in the Gulf, but most of the Gulf countries will have a very special flag, right? Okay, so green, white, red, and the 4th color, black. Absolutely. So it's a very good team effort. I'm getting the answers. You see, you all are learning colors. Sometimes, unfortunately, we think colors are restricted to crayons. Colors are all around us. All you have to do, you have to challenge a student with the colors. All right, this one, I'm sure this is something very popular. It's one of the most recognizable flag in the world. Brazil. Okay, now, if I were to teach, Brazil is the easy one. What are the stars that are represented on the Brazilian flag? Can you see the stars on the Brazilian flag? Well, it's a difficult one, but you can make an attempt and I'll tell you what the answer is. The stars on the Brazilian flag. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you the answer. Brazilian flag, the day Brazil won its independence, the night sky had a constellation. So yeah, I like the word football, but the night sky had a constellation. They've imprinted that constellation on the Brazilian map, on the flag. And isn't it amazing? When I talk about Surah Buruj, was-samai zatil buruj, wal-yawmil ma'ud, wa shahidin mash'ud, I usually use Brazil as an example. I say there's so much to connect. The moment you connect a surah, moment you connect the word constellation to the Brazilian flag, you might go on to talk about the world in general. Suddenly there is a lot of connotation. A good teacher has a lot of parallel connections. And this is where we're going to. Anyway, now this is easy. This is called the Rainbow Nation, right? So as we go ahead, you can choose to answer. You can talk about it. I can go and do an entire logo quiz, but I have a lot of other quizzes to play with you. But the idea is you can use a logo and you can go ahead. Anyway, I will skim through it so you know, right? Thank you. It's South Africa. That's another good answer that I'm getting. Fantastic. Now this one, I always have this amazing, teenager mentality. If anybody who can answer this, and this is you, I know what fan you are. Okay, it is close to the Kenyan flag. It is very close to some of the flags that you Gabon or Kenya, but this has nothing to do with any flag. Oh, where you are, mashallah. It is Wakanda, right? Thank you. So this is the flag I'm talking about. It is a fictitious country of Wakanda. Anyone who knows about Avengers and Marvel, then probably you know that I'm pulling a fast one to you. Well, this is the Star of David on the Israeli flag. This logo, another popular area you can use logos, the words that you have. I'm sure you know the logo. Another international company that I'm talking about. Okay, Uber, brilliant. So you can go on and on. This is the world of logos. That is what Spatial Learner is. So next time your child likes a particular logo, child shows an interest in something, you know that you've created a little spark in them and they are going ahead. Right. Now, I'll take this further and I'll give an example. Okay, Chelsea, a lot of you have answering in the private as I see. You can start using this intelligence and start talking about graphs and charts. A lot of us may not like graphs and charts, but a child, there's a game called Battleship. So as I introduce this, if your child, you want to improve them, just buy puzzles or Battleship. Anything like that would improve their opportunity, would just change the perspective, just change the idea of what your child is doing about. I'll give you another perspective, another very interesting, okay, I'll give you the Spatial Learners. What happens in the world of imagination is, I want you to grab a pencil and a paper. And I said, because we're doing maths and little of spatial learning, or picture smart as we call it, a little bit of drawing is what I'll request you to do. And a little bit of numbers, that's all, right? Are you all there? Can you give me any emoticon? Can you use your emotions and tell me you have pen and a pencil with you? Then I can give you the task. All right, great. I can see very diligent teachers, alhamdulillah. Sisters, thank you so much. So here you are. Fantastic. Let me just jump down to one very interesting model and I'll explain. Right, here you are. What I want you to do is I want you to draw these circles. It doesn't matter how big the circles are, but try to draw at least 12 circles like this. So take up a paper, in a maybe a landscape mode, as in, I mean, just make it like a rectangular in front of you and draw these circles. Just draw these individual small circles. I don't intend the circles to be perfect. They shouldn't have to be absolutely circular, but at least 12 circles, right? Go ahead and do it, and then I'll tell you what we would expect to do. All right. So now that you have done, what I want you to do is we're going to play a game, and I'll stop my screen share to explain what the game is about, because now probably you will have to take a picture. Either you can show me on the screen or put it on the WhatsApp group, and then I'll collect it. You have to draw anything in the circle. All right. So remember, I'm giving you pointers now. The circle can be anything. I've just make it very easy. A sun, a flower, anything you can draw in the circles. Use your imagination. And since we are not face to face, I'll ask you what you have done in the circle. All right. So go ahead, take your time. I give you 2 minutes for this activity. I want you to draw something in the circle. And then we're going to give you scores for what you have drawn.
Excuse me, is it in circle? We have 12 of them.
Right. There's 12 circles in each circle, and I would prefer you choose different images for each circle, right? So don't make 12 flowers or 12 sun, but you can choose, let your imagination run now. Okay, so
Your mic is not on, brother.
Oh, so sorry. I just muted so that it'll be easy. Jazakallah. Are you all done now? Or you need a 10-15 seconds more? What do you say, Azad bhai? We'll okay. Sister Roxana says done. All right, great. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds more. Be merciful for people on earth, and the Lord in the skies will be merciful to you. So there you are. All right. Don't spend too much time decorating your circles, because we have an interesting follow-up game to tell you your scores now. All right. So I wish I could really see your circles, but don't worry. Inshallah, we will see. Okay, pounce. Pounce means you need to stop as we go ahead, because there's so much to share and discuss and learn. So please stop now, everybody. And here is how you score. All right. Everybody look at your circle and start scoring the points. Okay, everybody. So we will start giving your scores for based on how creative you were. Most of you would have done individual circles, right? So I'm going to grade you an individual circle. Write down in the chat for what you have done in a circle, and then I'll tell you. If you have done the standard, what I told you, anyone who's done flowers or sun, flowers and sun, please give yourself 1 point each. So let's say if you have done 5 different kind of flowers and a lot of suns out there, so you are getting 1, 1, 1. So that's your pointers, right? Now you can ask me, Azad bhai, you can on behalf of the teachers, others. All right. Anyone who says star, I like star. Star should get 2 points. So tell me what you've done. So Nuha, please, sister, give yourself 2 points for a star. All right. Safiya says she's done sword and shield. Brilliant. That's very creative. Shield was something that I didn't expect. So give yourself 3 points. That's the maximum point you can get is 3 points. So every new pointer, okay, ball is still getting a point. Any kind of ball will get a point. Heart, I didn't know a circular heart would be available. So that's a creative one. Give yourself 2 points for that. Earth, moon, 2 points again. I didn't know pencil. I would love to see a pencil, but that's a 3-pointer. Right. Now, that's interesting. Okay, hold on. Any kind of fruits, 2 points. Wheel, very brilliant. Invention of wheel, change the perspective. Give yourself 3 points for wheel. Anything with geometry, 3 pointers. Book, pizza, 2 points. Car, wheel, 1 point only. All right. Child or ladder with it. Okay, 3 pointers for ladder. Hold on. Watch, clock. Clock is something very interesting. A lot of people do not think. Clock or watch, 3 points again. Girl, boy, 2 points, please. Laptop, I don't know how a circular laptop will be. Flag, laptop, anything I've not said, you by default will be 1 point, right? 1 point. All these are 1 pointers, but good enough. Victory sign with a circle, it looks good. Mickey Mouse is again a sign. Any kind of picture, 1 point. Now, hold on. Ice cream cone, brilliant. Give yourself 3 points for ice cream cone. Okay, logos, Pepsi, Vodafone, 3. Any kind of a logo, 3 pointers. Mug, 3 points. Hold on here. Professor says concentric circle. That's where I'm coming to. If you have drawn anything that combines, so one, like for example, you drew a bicycle. If Rahmat says, Sister Rahmat or brother, if you've drawn a bicycle, you give yourself an extra point. Any circle that's combined, you give yourself an extra point. And anybody has drawn a smiley face, right? That's the least creative you can be. Give yourself -1 point. So smiley face, sorry, Sister Rahmat, Jazakallah. So you give yourself an extra point if you've connected it. And a smiley face is a -1 point. Any kind of smiley face, smiling, frowning, with big eyes, any emoticons. I know you're on WhatsApp too much, so you're giving a -1 point. Now, butterfly, if they're combining it, brilliant. Give yourself again 3 points for butterfly. You see, you are giving creativity as archery board, wonderful. If you draw the bullseye, 3 points for that. Apple, another wonderful thing. Any fruit, I said 2 points for the fruit. So now you be your best judge. You be your best judge and tell me what's your score. You can get -12 as maximum, right? The least point, if you have done all smiley faces, -12. And I'll say, hold on, let's go to maths class now. No more of a spatial learner for you, but you have learned something new. Now, as a lot of you ask me, you can create a lot of lessons just using this for your students. All right, mathematical operations, great. Wonderful. Okay, there's 21, 22. Let me see who are brilliant. Sister Asma's 22. Wow, Sister Rida's 25. I can see. Okay, Sister Ahmed, 10 is good enough. You do pictures within the circle. Okay, that's okay. All right, so this was a little misunderstanding. I wanted to use the circle to draw a picture. So Sister Lisa, we will ask you to go back to your writing, right? But absolutely fine. You know, there are no wrong answers. You tried something new, but the idea was using the circle. Maybe I, as you know, I always say there are no wrong answers, there are wrong instructions. So I gave a wrong instruction. So at least minimum you are healthy. If you have to redraw what you have done, give yourself a grace point on that. I see Sister Aisha getting 19. Brilliant. You know, I will tell you something very interesting. I did this exercise many years back with a group of students with books, okay? With a lot of teachers, I get a very random answer. One child super impressed me. She came up and said, "Sir, I drew the entire phases of moon." And I'm like, what? She said, the gibbous, the waxing, the waning, you know, the new moon, the crescent moon. And she said, that's what I want to do. And the 12 circles were 12 phases of moon. I said, I don't think there's anyone who has done better than that. Somebody said, somebody chose this to tell a story. And I was like, wow. So there was a crocodile face and a frog, and the 12 circles were, so you see the circles differently. You see, most of us saw the circle as individual circles, right? But the spatial learners see the circle as a story. And that is what the difference we are creating. Somebody did Olympic logos with it. As you said, I saw somebody said, I made a logo. I said, brilliant, 3 points. Olympic logo is you're connecting 5 circles. That is 3 points each for each circle, plus 1 point each for the connection. That is 15 plus 5. Only with 5 circles, you get 20 points. You see, that is how creativity increases. So I hope you enjoy this, but trust me, you know, if you are teaching about moon phases, why do we use lunar calendar? A very interesting fact, in Australia, the Christmas is always in summer, and it'll never change because Australian Santa Claus has to be on the beach because the solar calendar has a limitation. But when you use a lunar calendar, every year, you know, every 10 years, a decade, your entire atmosphere, entire climate will change. So Ramadan would be in monsoon. It will also be in hot summer. And this is the beauty of lunar calendar. You can choose to just teach this using these circles. So there's so much of scope you can use with these. Fair enough? Are you all there with me? Was it a fun activity? Did you enjoy it? Let me go down and teach you something else. And again, I'll do one more activity with you. Right? Barakallah fiqh, alhamdulillah, sister. It's nice to see you. Enjoy and comment, and as we go ahead, probably because I'm taking 2 strategies which I usually don't, but I want to cover some more. I will just I'll explain this, what other things you can do as a spatial learner. A very interesting technique is Edward de Bono's. Yeah, you have something called mind mapping. Mind mapping is, for example, I want to teach a concept, and I did this for when I did a Sirah study on Ibrahim alayhis salam, on Prophet Abraham. So what I did was I created Ibrahim alayhis salam in the middle. I said, what are the connotations you can have from it? And the students had amazing. I said, anything that comes of it, the Kaaba, the fire, the Babylon, you know, it could be sons, wife, travel. And suddenly the students are helping you learn. And as a teacher, all you have to do is start drawing. You know, it's sometimes easy to draw on the blackboard, but you can use a lot of online tools. You know, a spatial learner is sometimes when we teach, we are restricting ourselves only to just speaking. A small PowerPoint, which I insist a lot, a visual PowerPoint is happy. You know, you're looking at the time, you're looking at the graphics, you're looking at the colors, you're looking at the logo, you're looking at the green apples. By the way, green apple is meant for a reason. These are very specific. Green apple represent creativity. We said, okay, why not use it for multiple intelligence theory? So when a teacher uses it, that's wonderful. Then another thing you can give to your students is a challenge to create posters in your classes. So whatever you teach them, say, why don't you represent in a poster? How will I spend my time without mobile phone? Make a poster around it. In my Ibrahim alayhis salam workshop, I told them, make a poster to teach Tawheed, which is monotheism. And trust me, the students were amazingly creative. You know, sometimes you don't understand the power of creativity unless you allow them to do that. One student came up and he put all the sun, the moon, the star, the Jupiter, the Saturn, and he said, no strings, how come? All the posters said, so the challenge to them was, imagine if you have to create a big banner for a highway. So your banner will be on a highway, and a highway banner, you're teaching them, you can't have more than 4 words. You know, if you have 20 words, nobody's going to read your banner. How will you create a poster representing the life of Abraham into so powerful thing that people sit back and ponder? Oh yes, how come? So they put all the planets and then they said, no strings, how come? Imagine the power of ideas. That's what graphics can do. All right, let me give you one more, which is a collage. you can use Google's Jamboards. We will not use it right on a class, but that's another area you can do. Instead of using a physical collage, Jamboards are a great tool. Just log in, ask your students to log in with their email ID, and they can stick sticky notes, you can put pictures. I wish I would have a Jamboard exercise. Maybe in my next class, I will do a Jamboard exercise with you. So then, of course, you create sculptures and models, but that's what Picture Smart is all about. Don't worry, we're not done. I'm going to use Picture Smart and combine what we did in the last week on Word Smart and teach you something even more interesting. So I think as a great audience, it's fun to teach you because your interactions are hopefully wonderful. And I realize if I'm going very fast, I'll slow down again. Another strategy, what I call the icebreakers, is a simple concept, and all that I'm teaching you is yours, right? What I've done is I've created a visual, right? These are popular visuals, but you have to give me an English quote. Don't worry, it's a little tough one, but you're teaching English using pictures to your students. So these are popular phrases, idioms, very popular ones. Tell me what this one could think. Hopefully you will learn a new thing if you don't get it. We'll do 4 or 5, and then we'll go to maths one. Anybody? So look at the picture. What is he doing? He's knocking, and the word that's going out is brain. What is the phrase that can come out of this? So I think I'll help you with the first one, and then I'll expect you to go and help me with the second one. All right, brainstorm. I like the idea of brainstorm. That's very nice, Sister Saida. But it is more like knocking his brains out. A very popular English quote. This one, you should get it. So there's a dog which is barking, and there are 2 trees, and one tree has a signboard which is said, right. So the opposite of right is? Go ahead. Even if you write the keywords, I'll get the answer. Or you can. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just lost you for a minute. I think my internet went away for a minute and I logged in. Azad bhai, if you're just there, if you can okay.
Yes, we can hear it. We can hear it.
Jazakallah.
It was just a second.
Right. I think, I don't know, something change up. So here you are. We are saying that just tell me what phrase could this be. So there is a dog which is barking at which tree would it be? The opposite of right is then not left, the other one. The first one, all right. So the opposite right is wrong. So give me an English quote with it now. I'll do 3 and then I'll go to, all right, don't worry. I will give you these as a specific one. If you can't hear me, I'll be.
5 words and then 5 words.
Yeah, it is called barking at the wrong tree. The idea is you can use phrases and idioms to teach yourself. Okay, let's do the last one and then we'll jump to our math section. So this man is wearing a disguise and the word is blessing. All right, there you are. It's a blessing in disguise. A lot of things can be taught just in the way you teach your children. There are games out there you can see on, people send you WhatsApp, save them to teach your children. Okay, so I would, I think I'm seeing some echoes, but don't worry. As long as you're learning and we're going ahead, I'm happy with the answers you're giving me. Right. Now, we've done Spatial Smart. I can go